So today we're just taking a quick sneak peek at a new light from Wowtac. This is the A4 V2. This guy is all throw, a little bit of a smaller light. I got a chance to check this out last weekend. I was visiting my parents. They have a little bit more room where they live to really get a flashlight out there to check out throw. There's a field and of course the pond. You guys see me fish in the pond before. So it's just nice to be able to really reach out, because where I live, it's in the woods, it's all trees. You know, it's hard to test distance, all right? So a lot of times when I have like a little, EDC flashlight or something, that's fine. I use it around the house, I go outside, I use it in the woods a little bit. Sometimes I'll use it in parking lots just to get a grasp as how much throw there is, but it's generally not a problem because there's not that much throw. When you have these flashlights that are like dedicated for throw, I have to go out of my way to go to different areas, different locations where I could really reach out to 100 yards, 200 yards, 500 yards, if it's actually throwing light that far. So yeah, I mean, initial impressions, it's pretty impressive light. I'm not going to quote any prices right now just because there's all these Father's Day sales coming up. I highly recommend you look. Flashlights across the board, any brand, knives, I mean, obviously any kind of gear around the holidays are going to have all kinds of cool sales. Wowtac, and Through Night, and I'm sure Olight and Surefire, all these different places are going to have all these different sales coming up. But I'm trying to get a coupon code too for like an additional percentage off for you guys. So check down the description box. I'll have some of the details, all right? Because I don't know all the details as of right now. But yeah, this is more dedicated for throw. All right, turn this on. Actually, I'm going to put this on the moonlight mode here. So you can see that there's a concentrated beam here. All right, very concentrated. This has a very large head on it. You see it flares out past the width of the body. Very smooth reflector. All right, and we know smooth reflector usually means throw. That's where you get all the concentration. When you have flashlights that have all flood, you have a very heavily stippled, sometimes we call it like an orange peel reflector in there. So lots of little bumps and stuff. And if you don't know, if you're new to flashlights and stuff, all those little bumps is refracting that light every which way. Okay, so basically it's like a wall of light as opposed to narrowing it down, in this case with that smooth reflector, to a single point. So when you have a flashlight and you look at its kind of beam pattern, if I hold this up off the table, there's a lot of spill here, but it's very concentrated. Okay, so concentration means it's going to push that light a lot further out. All right, and that's what this one is dedicated for. As far as like an EDC light, I think it's any flashlight that's purposely built for throw alone is not a great EDC light, because more times than not, you're using your light in a small area. You're using it close up, you're using it to look under the couch, you're using it in your daily life. You drop something under your seat in your car. You don't need a flashlight that shines out to 100 yards. You need a flashlight that, fills an entire area that's a foot in front of you. So for me, they're purposely driven, okay? If you're a security guard, that's when you want throw. When you're standing outside of a building and you want to look, 80 feet away from you in a very concentrated area behind a dumpster, whatever your specific case may be, police officers, maybe firefighters, things like that. You may want a flashlight that has capability of throw. Specifically, if you're in, my situation where you're in the woods, I like throw for the woods, for outside, because I can look up in a tree and see if there's a bear. If I hear a noise or something, bears scurry up a tree like a squirrel. If you've never experienced that, you haven't seen black bear, they climb trees like squirrels do, and they get spooked, they go right up a tree. So if I hear a noise or something, that's what I'll generally do. I'll go outside and I'll look around on the ground, and if I don't see anything, I'll start looking up in the trees. So yeah, it's just something that's worth mentioning, because this size light is capable of EDC, but I wouldn't recommend it for that. I would recommend it for specific purposes when you really want to reach out and see something afar. If you're on a boat, it's a fantastic light. If you're on a pond or a lake or something, you could really reach out and see the shoreline, if it's getting dark. So, I mean, just something to consider. Before I get into the UI, which is very easy, like most of these flashlights, here's all the specs, everything you guys might need to know. There's the run times, all right, the outputs. This is close to 1900 lumens on turbo mode, which is extremely impressive. It is extremely, extremely bright. But also, there's the LED top left, XHP35H1, or excuse me, HI1. All right. The battery source here is a 26650. It's a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. All right, so let me pop this out to show you that. It is, of course, rechargeable. There's a charging port in the back. I did use this so far to, you know, all the way down to when it was dead and recharged it. I don't know exactly how long recharge took because I just left it overnight. But you can see it's a much fatter battery, not your regular 18650. So keep that in mind as well. It's a little bit different, this 26650. But yeah, let's pop this back in. Screw that back down. All right, make sure the head's tight on there. All right, so the modes first, before I get into that, you can see there is a LED indicator just showing you your power. So blue is good. Obviously it goes red, your battery's gonna die. In the off position, long hold for that moonlight mode. So even though, again, this is dedicated throw, if you do get into a situation where you only need a little bit of light close, you still have that option. But again, look at that beam pattern, okay? It's very concentrated. It's a circle, okay? It's a big old silver dollar. So it's not gonna help you out in a lot of different situations. When you're up close, you want just complete spread. You might want lower light, but you want it completely spread out. So like, let's say again, the scenario where you dropped, I don't know, a quarter underneath your car seat, okay? It's gonna be a little bit harder to look at it like this. This is like those old movies where someone's escaping from prison and they have the spotlight on the wall. And you know, the guy, let's say here's the wall, the guy's running and then he stops. The spotlight's going around, you know, then he runs, he stops. One of those situations, if you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, yeah, so like low light mode, it's nice it's there, but I think it's ineffective in comparison to other dedicated lights that have all flood. All right, just one click to turn it on. Push and hold as you go to cycle through your modes, low, medium, and high. At any point in time, you could double click for that turbo mode, and then double clicking on turbo goes to your strobe mode. Okay, the strobe is extremely effective at that type of output. It is, it's devastating. If you've never done this before, obviously don't do it a lot. You know, it might damage your eyes, but if you have a buddy or, you know, your wife, girlfriend, son, grandmother, anyone can hold this flashlight, you know, step away 20 feet in the dark, in the middle of the night, just walk outside even before your eyes acclimate to the dark, but it doesn't really matter. Even if you stand outside in the dark for a little while and you kind of get a better vision, you know, as your pupils, you know, adjust, and have them flick this on turbo. It is, it's devastating. You can't see anything. It is ridiculously effective. Okay, I always talk about turbo mode, or excuse me, I always talk about strobe mode. It is very, very effective for not only defensive situations, non-lethal defensive situations in low light, as well as with animals. And I've talked about this numerous times, but if you're newer to the channel, I live in the woods. My concern, you know, for self-defense and stuff is very much focused on animals as much as it is on people. I carry a firearm wherever I go because I'm concerned about people and animals. I carry a flashlight with a strobe mode capability, not only for people, but more so for animals. If I run upon a large animal like a black bear or a lynx or something that's gonna really mess me up, it could be someone's dog. Someone could be walking their dog and their dog gets loose, okay? I don't wanna hurt it. I don't wanna hurt an animal. I love animals. I'd rather throw on, you know, a very effective strobe mode in a flashlight and completely disorientate that animal so that it leaves me alone. Okay, that's the goal, okay? I don't want to get attacked by an animal, but I don't necessarily want to kill it. I will if I have to, but my first option would obviously be to spook it off or to confuse it enough so that I can get away. So that's just a consideration for me when I'm looking at flashlights and stuff. But yeah, I mean, overall, it's a comfortable size. Like I said, you could EDC it a little bit on the larger size. It has a lot of capability, but again, I much prefer, you know, flashlights that even if it has a little bit of throw, a little bit of flood, I like a balance there. Okay, I don't need a dedicated throwing flashlight for EDC. Although this is something you may want to keep in your vehicle, in a vehicle bag. Again, for emergencies, search and rescue, who knows what, the sky's the limit. Like I said, I mean, out in the water is another consideration I don't really talk about that often. But if you are someone who's an avid boater, you know, or you're out in the lake all the time on a pontoon boat, who knows what, something like this that you can actually get, you know, light all the way to the shore to see. Maybe you need help or something, who knows. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. It's not a full review or anything. I only got a use on this until it was dead and then charged it and then maybe like another 15 or 20 minutes of use. But my initial impressions are pretty good. It does reach out there. I do plan on doing a demo video to show you that, to show you, you know, how far this can reach out in the future when I get back to an open area. But like, you know, it's dedicated throw, and some people have a use for that and some people don't. I'll give you a perfect example. My preferred flashlight for EDC has a bunch of flood because most of the time when I need a flashlight, it's between 1 foot, and 10 feet. So I don't need something that reaches out to, 200 yards or something crazy. But let's use my father as an example. My father, when he hears a bump in the night or something, he hears something outside and he goes outside to investigate, he needs a flashlight that goes out to 100 yards, 200 yards, 300 yards. Some of the flashlights that he has in his little repertoire is all throw. It's complete throw. He has little cheapo, $5 flashlights inside the house in case he drops something behind the couch or, underneath something, furniture or whatever. And that's fine for him. He doesn't carry a light. He doesn't have an EDC light on him at all times. 100% of the time he's using a flashlight, it's when he's home. But when he does go outside, he needs something to reach out there, okay? Because there's a lot of property out there. There's a lot of woods and stuff. There is, grand openings. So, he has coyote up there and lynx and all kinds of animals and stuff. In fact, you guys will see in the future, I have some trail cam footage up there, and I swear there is a mountain lion in the area. Although that's not supposed to be, I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to get another good shot of it. You guys will see that down the road. I'll show you the pictures that I have, and you can tell me what you think of it. But that's completely off the subject. The point is, some people like throw, some people like flood, some people like a little bounce of both. This one is all throw, okay? Will not be awesome at, short distance flashlight work, all right, so to speak. But if you want to reach out, this will definitely blow a lot of the other flashlights out of the water. Anyway, that got quite off topic. The point is, this thing is all throw. It works very well at that. It's just keep in mind what you may or may not need a flashlight for. For me, I love having a ton of throw capability, but as a backup. My main light is all about flood. I want a wall of light, but I want that option where if I have to reach out, I have something like this to be able to do so. So anyway, that's all for now. Hopefully you guys have a great day. And again, keep an eye on all the sales if you are looking to get some new gear. Search around, do your homework, get the best price for things. We all work very hard for our money, at least most of us are. You don't want to waste it, all right? So get those deals where you can. Hopefully you have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.